We all know that Trump is using his office and the Department of Justice to seek petty revenge, retribution on all kinds of folks, right? This was a hallmark of his first administration, and it's definitely a hallmark of this regime as well, but like amplified tremendously. We all know that bullies make threats. We all know that fragile narcissists want to punish people who stand up to them and people that they perceive to have slighted them. An executive order that Trump signed a number of days ago in which he suspended the security clearances and canceled federal contracts to a law firm called Paul, Weiss. Actually, they might pronounce it Weiss, I'm not sure. This was a targeted attack by the Trump regime to enact revenge because there was an attorney, Mark Pomerantz, who used to work at Paul Weiss, who went on to go investigate, to work for the district attorney and investigate, potential crimes that Trump had committed in New York. I'm going to read a little bit from a piece in The Guardian yesterday. And also, if you want to know more in detail, a legal breakdown of what's going on here, I highly recommend that you go watch the latest bonus episode from The Bulwark where George Conway breaks it down in detail. But I actually want to use this particular story to talk about a greater issue, a greater concern. So hang in there with me. The piece I'm referencing in The Guardian came out yesterday, March 20th, and it is entitled "Trump Rescinds Executive Order After Law Firm Agrees to Provide $40 million in Free Services." Considering videos I have made about legacy media settling lawsuits that Trump has brought against them, you might be able to anticipate where I'm going to go with this story. Article starts, Trump rescinded an executive order targeting a prominent Democratic-leaning law firm after it agreed to provide $40 million in free legal services to support his administration's goals. In other words, they are offering $40 million worth of their lawyers' time and skill to support fascism and to dismantle democracy, right? It's like immediate capitulation and support of fascism. Okay, the White House has targeted law firms whose lawyers have provided legal work that Trump disagrees with. Last week, he issued an order threatening to suspend active security clearances of the attorneys at Paul, Weiss and to terminate any federal contracts that the firm has. So this wealthy Manhattan law firm is being threatened with the loss of money and contracts. This is about money. Skipping down, to avoid the consequences of Trump's order, the firm had agreed to take on a wide range of pro bono matters that represent the full spectrum of political viewpoints of our society, meaning the Trump agenda. The firm reportedly agreed to disavow the use of DEI considerations in its hiring, meaning that they are agreeing to take up a white supremacist position, and to dedicate the equivalent of $40 million in free legal services to the Trump regime. The chair of that law firm said, "We are gratified that the president has agreed to withdraw an executive order concerning Paul Weiss. We look forward to an engaged and constructive relationship with the president and his administration." This firm has become the latest corporate target to make concessions to the president to avoid his ire. Meta and ABC also made settlement payments to Trump's future presidential library to end lawsuits filed by Trump. Other tech and financial firms have publicly rolled back DEI programs. That means they have instituted white supremacist policies in order to line up with Trump's policy interests. Again, I highly recommend going and watching the Bulwark's interview with attorney George Conway on this issue. You can see I was watching it when I screenshot my own Blue Sky post. And this is the main point I really want to hit home here. We are watching media, corporations, and now big law firms do the exact wrong thing in response to the intimidation of a bully. The private sector is complying in advance and enabling fascism, full stop. What Paul Weiss did is shameful. It is empowering and enabling and funding fascism. It is emboldening a bully. We do not comply in advance. We do not obey in advance. We do not capitulate for fascists and bullies. We do not roll over for them. And we are watching corporations, we are watching law firms, we are watching legacy media roll over because they are afraid of losing money. Money, they are willing to be complicit in installing a fascist regime that will cause the suffering and deaths of American citizens and millions of people around the world for money. Y'all have got to understand the wealthy, the elites, corporations, big business. They are not friends of the working class. They are not friends of the American people. They will throw us under the bus for their profit margin every time. They are not willing to risk their necks to protect democracy because they think that they can still be profitable in a fascist regime. They are willing to throw away the Constitution, your freedoms, and perhaps your very life so that they can secure their wealth. That is it. They only care about money. These folks are not our allies. They cannot be trusted. What Paul Weiss did is shameful. To watch a Democratic-leaning law firm being willing to scuttle their DEI and take up a white supremacist position to lend $40 million of their resources, to gift $40 million of their resources to the Trump regime because they didn't want to lose the money of government contracts. It's the same way ABC settled their lawsuit for, I think it was $50 million, that every legal expert that I have watched said they would win that lawsuit against Trump. They would have won that lawsuit, but instead they folded because a lawsuit would have been costly and because they didn't want to continue to draw the anger and attention of Trump. They folded. These institutions will put their profit above us, above our liberty, above the Constitution, above this nation every time. This is why I continue to say that it is we the people who will save us. It is not the institutions, because the institutions are funded by corporate interest. The institutions are owned, are run by corporate interest that only cares about money. They only care about profit. They don't care about your life or my life, our children, our future. Please understand, there is no wealthy person, wealthy institution, corporation that is your friend or your ally in the fight against fascism. None of them should be trusted. They will throw you under the bus in a heartbeat. Companies could be standing up. Law firms could be standing up. These folks could be willing to risk their profit, to look at the long-term gain, to look at what is morally right, what is just. They could be a huge asset in the fight to restore our democracy. And they are doing the exact wrong thing. Exact wrong thing.